Remember, don't play with your feet. It's a big problem for me.
I don't have that problem.
Yeah, I know what I'm telling you, dude.
Really?
Oh, hey, hi, what? Hey, hi, hello. What's going on? Welcome to episode number 3 of the Ron Coco cast with yourself, with myself, Renoko, and the beautiful Shred Moss.
Hey,
She has blessed us with her time again because she has to travel so far to be here.
From this couch, still on this couch.
Yeah. Cool. I just sort of
Big
wait
ass.
for the moment where she gets really nice and nested in there, and I'm like, hey, I'm just going to set up the camera and we're just going to talk, but like the camera's not really there. But
It's there.
But it's definitely there.
It's there.
Yeah. So we do want to keep a common theme, I guess, on this podcast for as long as we possibly can, and that is obviously snow related and things that we are quite knowledgeable on. And that is this week is going to be some tips and I guess some advice on anyone who watches this who intends on moving to Canada or even just traveling, I guess.
Pretty much being an Aussie who wants to work and live and travel in Canada.
Yeah.
And how you can do that.
Cool. And yeah, to start things off, I guess the first thing is obviously applying for your visa.
So many steps. So many steps.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd like to know what they are.
Oh, go take the wheel, Stephanie. Take the
Alright,
wheel.
so you gotta go to it's called SICK, which is the Government of Canada website, and you need to go to the eligibility part to see if you're eligible to even apply. So they have like a little questionnaire and they just ask you some details, pretty much like what country you're from, if you have like a criminal record, what you want to do while you're in Canada. So like, are you trying to work or do you just want to go on a holiday?
Yeah.
Or are you trying to travel to fund?
Yeah.
I don't know if that didn't make any sense, but it's like an eligibility quest and it'll tell you what visa you're eligible to apply to based on the information that you just gave them.
Yeah. Little side note: if you do have any like driving under influence and offences, you unfortunately cannot.
You're not going.
You're not going.
You will not be working in Canada.
Shouldn't have been driving under the influence.
Yeah.
We're sorry.
Okay, so you can do that, and eventually if you're like any of us who don't already have a job offer and you just kind of want to travel around, be a little bit of a gypsy, snowboard and work as little but as much as you need to survive, you're going to get a lovely thing called International Experience Canada, and that will be the visa. It's called an IEC.
Yeah. And if you have not already noticed, I did absolutely nothing. I did nothing when it came to us moving over. Stephanie definitely took the ball and ran with it. I just was very much, tell me what I need to give you and...
Tell me what paperwork I need to sign.
Yeah.
We'll all just move to Canada because Steph did the work for you and your friend who didn't even end up coming.
Yeah, fuck you, Johnny
Fuck
K.
you, John. Everyone hates you.
Oh, no, that's a bit harsh.
Jokes.
Nah.
Jokes on jokes.
But like, one of those things that I do want to quickly just touch on, and it's about obviously having an acceptance of job offer. I wouldn't be 100% completely like, oh, I need to make sure I have this.
Like, have a job.
Have a job offer, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you don't need one, honestly.
Yeah, so once you go through all the process of getting your visa and whatnot, and, it's coming down to the crunch time, as long as you've, I feel like as long as you get, housing sorted, no matter where you are in Canada, you're going to get a job.
Yeah.
I think the biggest crisis over here at the moment, and I think it's most resorts here, especially here in Whistler, and then obviously Big White's not as bad, but I've heard some pretty gruesome stories, is that accommodation is obviously king. Myself and Steph, our first season, we lived in a house with 12 people, including ourselves obviously, and it was an experience.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't do it again.
Me either.
Yeah.
It's kind of gross.
Yeah.
Kind of really gross.
Yeah, it's just that many people shouldn't operate inside a house. It is just...
Yeah, unless you're actually bonded by blood, it's not really as fun as it may sound at first.
Yeah, but you know what? If you're a young single dude, maybe that's up your alley, or a young single gal who's out there to meet some people, it might be what you're into. But from a couple's point of view who have lived with each other before, it was definitely
on the mature side of things. I feel like if I was 20, probably wouldn't faze me that much. I'd probably be just as much as a little shit. But as a mature adult.
Yeah.
Not really my jam.
Yeah, big time.
Live and learn.
Big time. But yeah, so we got pretty lucky. I guess we got pretty lucky the second season because obviously you make your tabs with people, and then you if you do return to the same place like we did, you can obviously get landlord numbers and whatnot, and then that's how we got our such sweet
better
deal.
Location, better houses. Kind of got it all set up because you already know what you want, so it's easier to find. But when you're in Australia, you don't know. You don't really know anything. You don't know how far anything is from like where your work is, or I know it's hard to gauge the situation properly. You just kind of want to get a house and be like, okay, well, I'm not homeless, so that's like step one to success. Yeah, definitely a roof over your head is going to be the number one priority, and then once you have that, everything else just sort of trickles out. It'll fall into place.
All the jobs I ever went for here, one of the first questions they did ask me was, do you have a house?
Yeah,
because for them, that means they don't have to worry about getting you in staff accom, and it's pretty much a job handed into your hand unless there's something completely wrong with you. But job is a house is obviously more important than
probably your resume, because it is seasonal work and they take all walks of life.
Big time. But yeah, also what we could also talk about for another handy tip is what else is on that piece of paper?
Ooh, when you get, once you've obviously been approved for your visa and you've been accepted into the application pool to apply for a work permit, and you pay all your fees and give off your passport details and all that kind of jazz, and you get approved for a work permit. When you actually come into immigration, you need to have $2,000 in your bank account.
Yeah, you meant to have $2,000.
You have to have proof from your bank that you have at least $2,000 in your bank account, and you have to have travel insurance for the duration of your stay. Which is a hard one, because
it's almost impossible.
It is kind of impossible.
Yeah, I don't think you're ever going to get stitched up on that.
What do you mean? At the
I don't think when you go to immigration, they're going to be like, oh, you've only got 18 months travel insurance.
Some people have though.
Yeah, but
I've met some people who only got a year's cover for travel insurance, and that is how long their visa was, because that's how long they were covered. It just depends what immigration officer you get, and if you're the person they'd like to make an example of that day.
Yeah, I guess it depends if it's Monday after Super Bowl Sunday or if it's Friday before Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah,
the mood of the worker.
In all honesty, the guy that did our visa didn't even ask to see our bank details, and he didn't ask to see how long we were insured for. He was just kind of like, where are you moving to? And
did we even actually have $2,000 in our account?
Yeah. We literally had everything we needed, and we had 18 months cover, and he just asked us where we were moving to, and we said Big White, and
to make sure that we didn't work as strippers.
Yeah, to make sure we didn't work
really weird one on a work permit.
And we strippers. And then really pretty much just told us to sit down and have a seat, and then he called us back up shortly afterwards and was like, here's your visa, have a great time.
Yeah, that's 100%.
Good morning to you.
100%. Yeah, so once you get all your visa and stuff done and everything's good and you're on your plane, you bought your ticket, I guess one of the biggest helpful things I probably think there is how cheap you can get a bus in Vancouver to wherever you need to go.
Yeah, real cheap.
Yeah, ridiculous. Obviously connecting flights, it can seem a bit more convenient depending on where you're going. But yeah, you can hop on a bus in Canada pretty cheap, eh?
Yeah.
Pretty cheap, yeah. But yeah, so I guess the next thing that really we could talk about is probably cars.
Yeah, if you wanted to buy a car when you get here.
Yeah, so you've got yourself on a plane, you're over here, and you've got yourself, man, I need to buy myself a whip.
A whip or some wheels?
A whip and wheels.
A whip and wheels.
Surprisingly, it's not as easy as it seems, hey?
Yeah, it's a little bit...
First of all, when you're going to get, this is the thing that I don't understand at the moment, is because I've had multiple people tell me different things, but I got myself a Canadian driver's license. Yeah. You don't.
I did not hand mine over, no.
Yeah, which is another shit thing if you are an Australian and you are planning on changing your license over. Actually, this is a very, very important...
Cut your license up in front of your eyes.
Yeah, this is super important. This is probably my biggest tip to anyone out there who is considering doing this.
Lose your license at home, have 2 licenses, get them to snip your new one when you get here.
Yeah, so definitely
Sneak
come
one
over
of them.
with 2 driver's license, because there is nothing worse than like the 2-week period that it takes for you to get your Canadian license when you're forced to go out with a passport. Man, passports are gold. You don't want to lose those. The last thing you want to do is have a big night and relying on your drunk self to remember not to lose a passport. I pretty much just didn't go out for the whole 2 weeks that I waited for my Canadian license, because it was
I
just
love
shit.
how you pretend like you even go out in the first place.
Yeah, but you know what? It actually did happen to me when I went to one of the pubs, and they're like, "Yeah, ID," and I was like, "Oh my god, I don't have one." I didn't have my passport on me because I was like, "I'm not fucking taking my passport out. That is just dumb."
True that.
Yeah.
Anyway, distracted.
But back on cars. The insurance over here is extremely questionable, and I'm assuming the majority of the viewers here are going to be no older than our age. So the chances of you having more than 10 years driving experience is
probably not
very high, and learners don't count as driving experience.
Yeah,
so in the insurance over here, it's 10 years driving experience. It needs to be on your fulls. So I think myself and Steph, we pay like $630 for 3 months, is it?
I feel like it's more than that.
$630? No, it is. It's about $630.
Is it?
Yeah.
Was it more than that the first time, and then it's gone more?
Oh yeah. So the first time it was a lot more expensive. So yeah, because we now
been here for ages.
Yeah.
That's why that was $600.
So insurance is really going to bite in the ass, and there's really no way around it. So if you are like planning on coming and you can somehow avoid having to get a car, at least in the winter, I'd probably try to avoid it, you know, pinch some rides or whatnot. But if you definitely need one, you just need to know that car insurance is going to be pretty expensive.
Especially on your own.
Yeah,
like you want to go in with a buddy or something,
yeah.
even though it's maybe not the best idea if you don't really know anyone. But
yeah.
It's super expensive for you to afford on your own, especially when you're on a Canadian minimum wage, which is a joke, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah. But you know what? The minimum wage, I really think it's just a bit of a myth, eh?
What?
It's a myth. Like, obviously...
It's a myth?
No, well, like, the wage is definitely... It's real. It's low. But, like, if you're coming from Australia where you're on a decent wage, and I was to tell you that you're about to go make $13 an hour, you're going to go to yourself, I am not going to be able to fucking do this. How am I going to fucking manage? And to be honest, did you ever feel like you were struggling because you were on minimum wage?
No.
I definitely didn't.
I also don't drink and do drugs, so...
Yeah, that's always another one. But a lot of people that I know, some of them did struggle because they obviously did party a lot. But if you've got a couple screws in your head, you can be perfectly screwed on about it, because
you can afford to eat and pay your phone bill and pay your rent and not be stressed about it.
Yeah.
Like, you could still even go out and and have beers throughout the week.
Yeah, 100%. Well, you got to remember that all rent is paid in months, not like back home in Oz, which is paid weekly. And I think the majority of where we were, from our experience, we're on fortnightly pay. So it was pretty easy to manage, and like you're going to be paying, like, on average, like, I feel like the maximum you'll pay for rent in a winter is like $800 a month, and then like the minimum, like the lowest you'd be able to pay for a pretty not like full on place would be like $550. Yeah,
$550 would be like the cheapest you're probably going to find, and you're definitely going to be living with quite a large amount of people.
Yeah. And as long as you're like, you know, you've got as long as you've got like a pretty reasonable job where you're getting like some decent hours, and then regardless of what you're doing, especially if you have a full-time job, the Christmas period, you'll most likely do more hours than what you want, and there's plenty of penalty days.
Yeah, public holidays.
Yeah, definitely bank on the public holidays over here. The good thing about public holidays here is that you get paid for them regardless if you're not at work, which is always great. So if you do work then as well, so you get paid another day. So it works out really, really well. But yeah, I honestly don't. The fear of the minimum wage here, I wouldn't really find it.
Look, honestly, you can afford to live and do everything that you'd want to be doing on a ski hill.
Yeah, you make do.
You really can afford it.
Yeah.
I was never stressed about it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Anything else?
Not sure.
Not sure.
Nah. What else is useful about moving to Canada?
Was there anything else on that list that we said that we'd look at and actually try and make a better list this time? But we just
housing situations.
Yeah, we already spoke about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fear of moving over without a job. Not really big.
We spoke about that.
Yeah. Well, pretty much done if you ask me.
All right. Well.
If you have any questions.
Yeah, honestly, that's probably another good thing to talk about. Actually, yeah. If there's anyone out there who does have, the ambitions to move over to Canada, feel free to shoot me a message at Yonoko and shoot Steph a message at Steph Moss. And
I feel like if you shoot me a message, you're going to shoot that message directly straight back at me, considering I'm the one who did the applications.
That is
so
very
if it's
true.
visa related, I'm probably a go-to.
That's very true. That's very true. But yeah, thanks to all the people that actually have been tuning in and watching these podcasts. They have, been doing quite well compared to the other stuff I've been making. So it's good to know that people are enjoying it. But yeah, so be sure to like this video, I guess, and I don't know, if you find it useful and there's a tip here that you couldn't give to someone, share this video to them. But yeah, besides that, we'll catch you later.
Bye.
See ya.